Foxfin's relationship with the neighboring towns was a peculiar one. When the Black Realtors came for Dogshaw, we did everything we could to hinder them. We sent Vyomi to their headquarters in Hakane to spy. We had Mayor Won corroborate ways of dissuasion with Dokshaw's mayor. We had stores and motel in Foxfen closed to any shady stranger who might try to flee here from the hostile settlement. Anything to be a pain in the realtor ass. Now, a year after the battle was lost, we welcome all citizens of Dogshaw to any traditional celebration they can no longer organize on their own. We'd do the same for any of our neighbors should they find themselves in peril. But when it came to competitions, Foxfen was their biggest nightmare. Mayor Won raised his pointer finger to the sky and announced the codename of his plan. The Fox Fair. I had to admit it. It was mind-boggling that it wasn't a thing until now. Anyone who meant anything in the town, or in other words had any exploitable skills, had been given urgent summons to the bar. And the mayor continued. The traditional annual celebration of the wonderful canines. We will have... Bumka, what do foxes eat? Mostly bugs and grass, sir. Mayor Won winced and narrowed his eyes in thought. God damn it. Well, whatever, we will have fish. It's believable enough, right? You know what? I'll spare you the details of the meeting. Believe me, it went for a long time. We didn't have any celebrations coming up, and so we had no way of showing our guest Loken the potential snoozing inside Foxfen and the spirit of its people. And that, Mayor said, was unacceptable. And if we had to get stuck with another holiday for the rest of our lives to remedy it, also be it. Granted, doing all of this to impress a random man could seem a little drastic, but I did warn you. Foxfen doesn't lose. And besides, every tradition starts somewhere. What's the difference between some dude seeing 3 frogs stacked on top of each other on a water lily leaf and a different dude throwing a challenge in our face? Nothing. Both are wonderful reasons to eat. I scooted over to Carrion, who sat there in disbelief, listening to more and more fox fur customs being added to the list, completed with reasonable origins and connections. Regretting your life choices yet? I asked, nudging him in the side. No, I think. I picked up a prototype fox ears headband and put it on his head. Maybe, he decided. Could be. We're amazing, aren't we? I'd been sent on a recon mission to find out when Loken would be leaving for another settlement, and once the date was known, the preparations for the fox fair were launched at full speed. Loken and I made some plans for that day as well. The past 2 weeks have been amazing, and we felt that it would be a great time to take the next step. And with how much he seemed to fancy me in the fox ear headband, I had my doubts whether he could even wait to that date. Luckily, it was right upon us. We walked into the motel restaurant and took our seat at the table with Rally's Vyomi and Carrion. Today was the day before the day, which meant a test run of the food that we'd be celebrating with tomorrow. God forbid something went wrong on the day. We could not have that, could we? All the food places in town served delicious fish from an earlier catch, and we spent the evening talking and eating and talking some more. When the night came, I bid sweet farewell to Loken, and to be honest, I was getting giddy and excited about tomorrow. I was quite charmed. But alas, I did not even reach my home when the pleasant butterflies fluttering in my stomach turned into something far, far more foreboding. Instantly, I bolted to a run and reached the bathroom just in time for the dinner to evacuate cleanly. Oh no. My stomach was throwing a riot. The fish. Was it the fish? It couldn't have been the fish. Everyone had the fish. But what... I couldn't even finish my thought. Maybe it was just me. It did taste a little off, but I figured it must have been the spices. They often like to experiment with seasoning. And yet, oh no, a hot flash made me a little dizzy. I grabbed a big bowl and made my wobbly way towards my bed, where I lay down like a log, hoping it would pass, though a nasty voice deep down was telling me it wouldn't. If a fish got you, it got you good. I don't know how much time had passed before I heard knocking at the door. It sure felt like a small eternity. I wanted to yell for them to go away, but it was risky. Riskier than getting up? Oh, good question. A quick moment of self-reflection told me that yes, I should not try to shout at any cost. So I picked myself off the bed and waddled back to the door, holding my trusty ball under my arm. Rallis? She looked like a vampire just had a feast on her and left not a drop of blood within. Oh no. Rallis pushed by me and headed straight for the carpet, where she plopped down helplessly. She pointed towards the bowl. Oh, you too? I knew it! The fish! They were caught today. How could it have been the fish? I don't know, Eri, but everyone is sick. I left Vayomi in the bathroom to check on you, and I heard Mom retch through the walls. We shared the salad, but you didn't. I thought that maybe... Go. She went. When she returned, I shook my head in disbelief. This is a catastrophe. The fox fair is tomorrow. We were supposed to save the fish from the same catch for it. Mayor One would gut someone and serve them instead if only someone was responsible. But whose fault would it be? They had them iced right after the catch, right? Of course! My father was there. He knows what he's doing. Come on. But even if they didn't ice them, it was half a day. They tasted off. I know. But it doesn't make sense. They were as fresh as they come. How could they have expired? All I could do was shrug. And before you ask, no, there was no reason anyone would poison us. Even the spirit of competition wouldn't push people that far. I hoped. Right? What can we do? I asked. We won't get this much of anything else by tomorrow. Rallis threw her hands up. I don't know. Oh, gods. We have to sleep it off. Confer tomorrow. I passed her the ball. She had no time. Rallis left with her salad theory dashed, and me free of doubt. This was a disaster. A complete annihilation of the fox fair. And Loken! Oh, goodness gracious, we fed him expired fish, didn't we? I guess that was also something Verdant Creek might have trouble matching. At least the thoughts of this calamity distracted me a little from my own local suffering, but I was ready for a hell of a hellish night anyway. Yet somehow, as I lay down in bed and closed my eyes, the nausea began to quickly go away. The window creaked open. I thought I had it locked, but I guess not. And the cold breeze felt amazing, bringing immense relief. The emergency bowl slid from my hands and landed on the floor without a sound. Minutes later, I felt just fine. Some god of good digestion must have been watching over me that night.